Good morning from Nigeria. Thank you so much, Senator Pamphile, for joining me from Benin. Before we get started, I'm going to read the short bio. I've compressed it so much, but you forgive me. So, my guest today is Pamphile Djoffon, an accomplished business leader and strategist with more than 25 years of experience across Europe and Africa. He is the general manager and associate of Strategy Advisor Associate, a firm he founded in Cameroon and now leads from Benin, helping organizations invest and grow across Central and West Africa. Before establishing SAA, he held senior roles in General Electric France and Cameroon, driving corporate strategy and regional partnership. He's also a past JCI Executive Vice President and Advisor to Africa and Middle East. He also continues to champion innovation, leadership, sustainable development across the continent. Thank you so much, JCI Senator Pamphile, for joining me.
Thank you, Temi. This is a lovely presentation. There was nothing forgotten, so congratulations.
All right, thank you so much. So before we get started, the first question is, how is Benin as of this morning?
Oh, this is a lovely one. Benin is great. Benin is lovely. It's a place to be, actually. The country has been growing. The leadership is perfect. We have a great leader, we have a great team, and they are doing a wonderful job across the country. There is no city left. There is no activity aside. You move from electricity to water to infrastructures, roads, agriculture, whatever. Benin is doing great everywhere. This because of the vision of one man and the leadership of our president, who managed to have a wonderful team around him. And if we can keep this for 5 to 10 more years, I think Nigeria will envy Benin.
All right, so before I continue, I would, for the
Yeah.
sake of the video, I want you to perhaps be at the middle of the camera and perhaps so that we
Okay.
can capture you much more.
Let
Thank
me
you
put
so
it in
much for
front of
that.
me. Okay.
All
Is the
right,
light
so
behind me okay?
uh, if it's possible to close it, it might be better.
Okay. Let me see what I can do. Which one? Like that? It's okay. Or should I close?
Yes, good.
Okay. Let me switch the light.
Yes.
Okay. I think
Yes,
it's
this is
better.
better.
Okay. Great.
Yes, sir. I love the way you are dressed. Is that the
Oh.
usual way you dress in Benin?
you know, I've been dressing like this since I was a kid. My parents,
Wow.
they were lovely and kind enough to teach us how to dress well. And I grew
Mm,
up in Paris. I left Benin at the age of 16, went to Paris where I did all my studies, grew up in Paris, and
mm,
I think I spent 36 or 38 years in Paris before being appointed to Cameroon by GE. I was working for GE Capital. Then I've been appointed to Cameroon to lead Central Africa for all GE
mm.
businesses. I was GE Corporate. So that when I came back to my continent, so I used to dress from Monday to Thursday like this, and on Friday, I'm in my African dress.
Wow, that's awesome. So I was reading through your bio and I got captivated. I I had to scrabble out a lot of questions. But before I go into those questions, there are some things that piqued or that caught my attention.
Yeah.
I want you to tell us your story from growing up. You mentioned that your dad trained you how to dress. Can you give us an idea of the family you grew up from?
Okay, I'm part of a big family. My parents, they are not part of us anymore, but we were seven kids.
Wow.
I'm the elder. Oh yes, you can say wow. And I have every day I have to congratulate my mom for being able to deliver seven crazy people like me and my brother and sisters. So we are three guys for four
Mm,
ladies. I'm the elder,
mm,
and we you know my dad left about 30 years ago, and then followed my mom about almost 20 years ago now. And we were a very happy family until I left for Paris. Well educated, very proud, but hard worker. They teach us how to learn, work hard, always work hard, being honest,
yeah.
um, respect, respect the others, make sure we follow rules because my parents were teachers. And
Mm,
if you know what teachers mean in Africa, you have no chance to cross the line. There were lines
mhm.
everywhere, but there is no way for you to cross them. And me as elder, it was even worse because whatever my brother and sister do, I have to pay for it because I'm the elder,
Exactly.
and I didn't teach them how not to cross the lines. So it was tough. It was tough, but it was a lovely experience for me because this teaches me how to behave once I left
Mm,
Benin for Paris because I was alone.
wow.
And at that age, it's not easy to find your way, to keep working hard, and have in mind that the only goal is to be successful, to be respectful,
Wow.
and so on.
Awesome. So you left for Paris. Why
Yeah.
exactly did you leave for Paris? Was it on your own, or you went for a visit, or you went for education?
That was for education. That was a decision made by my parents, my mom and my dad.
Okay.
That period there was a revolutionary government in my country. That
Yeah.
was the years. Okay, should I give you the years because
Please go ahead.
I will look older than you can say. That was 90 90 78. I'm
I was
sure you
not
were
in
not born.
existence then. I was
You
not.
were not at all. So they wanted me to go and to have the chance to have a better education. Uh, and uh, and the other thing is, my dad used to say that I'm too honest, I'm too
Mm,
straightforward, and it will be tough for me to grow up in our country because especially in Africa, you cannot be that straightforward. You have to find a way to tell things not
mhm,
straightly, but how will I say? You cannot say yes or no, but you will say, okay,
yeah.
if you don't mind, can you allow me to? And so I don't know how to do that. For me, if it's
Oh.
yes, if it's no, it's no. I don't like it. There is no way that I will go around find a way to be nice to you. I want to be
Mm,
honest first and let you know how I feel. And they always look at me and say, "This guy cannot grow up in Benin. They'll kill him." So that was one of the reasons. But the main one was for me to have a better education, to move away from the revolutionary government and the stuff that we were having around. You have to go to do some funny stuff instead of going to school to learn and so on.
yeah.
So they moved me away from the country. It was a very smart decision of them.
Oh,
So
awesome.
it was hard for me, and I went there and said, okay, they are paying a lot for me to get well educated, and
Exactly.
I will do my best to quickly move away from the financial expenses and be by my
Mm-hmm.
own. So once I got my bachelor, My goal was, okay, I need to find a part-time job so that
Mm-hmm.
I can take care of myself somehow.
Yourself.
So what they will
Yeah.
send to me will not be that big enough anymore. So I was doing some small jobs in Paris while studying, and it was
Okay.
a wonderful way of educating myself. Uh, I learned a lot by doing whatever. I cleaned streets in Paris. What I was not able to clean my room in Benin when I was young, but I went to clean streets in Paris, for
Wow.
to just to get some cash. Uh, I was guard, but when I was going to school, I was doing those jobs and touching how the people who does it for a living, the way they feel,
Mm.
how they work, and that was how I managed to get my first job, because I used to work during the weekend in a company.
Okay.
And when I'm doing that guard job, I come with my books and read
Wow.
and learn. And one day the
Awesome.
manager came to me. He came on Saturday and saw me reading. And he passed through and said, "What are you doing?" I say, "I'm reading, I'm learning, I'm a student." He said,
Mm.
"Wow, you are a student.
Mhm.
So how come you are doing such a job?"
Exactly.
I want to make it easy for my parents. Then he came inside my room and look at the books and say, "Wow, you read this? That is a financial book." I say, "Yes." Say, "But where do you study?" Then I give, say, René Descartes. Say, "I can't believe it. I was in that same school." And
Oh.
we became friends. Whenever he come to the office on Saturday or during the weekend, he will stop by me and we talk. We explain things. And one day I say, "Sir, you know what? I need 3 or 6 years, no, 6 months learning experience. But I'm looking for a company that can employ me for 6 months, but they have to pay me for that." He looked at me and
Mm-hmm.
said, "Don't search again. This is where you will work." So from a day to another, I moved from the guard status to a controller on first floor of the
Wow.
company where all the managing team stays. So
Awesome.
the workers came in the morning. They saw me the weekend before on Saturday as
Yeah.
guard,
Yeah.
and they came in on Monday, and they could see me upstairs, and they say,
They
"Hey,"
won't believe it.
they won't believe it. They say, I'm black among the whites, and upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
They say, "Hey, black man, what are
Wow.
you doing upstairs? You are not supposed to be there. This is where your office is. Come down." I looked at them and I didn't
Hey.
say anything. I went inside. Another one came in and said, "What are you doing there? Come down." I said, "No. Now you won't see me down again. Come upstairs if you want to
Mm.
see." And my
Wow.
office was next to the manager's office. And
Okay.
then everybody was talking about me in that company. "Have you seen him? He's upstairs now. I can't believe it. He became our boss." So this is strange. That black guy, I can't believe it. And myself, I was talking to myself saying, "Wow, so this can happen."
Mm.
And the director came and said, "Okay, you are supposed to do 6 months here. The position you have is because the guy doing this job went to England because we want him
Mm.
to perfect his English. So in case he doesn't show up, you may keep the job.
Mm-hmm.
But if he comes back, then you have to go." And I say, "Okay, sir, it's not for me." But when I was guard, I was making, like, let me say, uh, 5 to 700 US per month, and
Okay.
I move up with almost 3,000 per month.
Almost.
3,000 US. I moved from 700 to
Oh
3,000.
wow. Well,
And when I look at
I
my,
have
I look at,
questions. I have questions
yes,
here.
yes, tell me.
First of all, I like the fact that your story is not strange. It's not as if you're unique in a way. It was just simply studying and hard work. And I
Yeah.
believe that many of us crying or lamenting about government, if only we could take that simple job much more seriously, opportunities will open up from there. But my question now is that because I've heard of story of the fact that if you were a security guard, if you are put in higher position, your mindset will affect you and return you back to security guard. How were you able to sustain that position without reflecting, I won't say poverty mindset, but that low level mindset in that upper room?
But you know what? When I was a security guard, that was a part-time job, and for me,
Okay.
it was a job for a period. I was student,
Mm,
and I was doing that
mm,
job just to have some money for myself and to survive, because I didn't want my parents to keep paying me, sending me money every month, while they're
mm,
having my other six brothers and sisters with them. I say it's a way for me to help and support them. I don't do
mhm,
that job to go and spend the money in the club or whatever. No, I use it to pay my rent, to buy foods, and so on. So for me, there will be a time when I will leave that job and do what
mm,
I'm supposed to do, what I'm learning for. So it was easy for me to move from that statue to the other one, because that was, I was in my shoes when I went up.
mm.
That's
Wow.
what I learned to do, and I was doing it, making more money, and being happy because the boss was happy with me. The only thing he told me, I remember him saying that, I want you to be focused, to be honest, and to work hard. If you don't know how to do it, come to my office. Don't go to anyone, they will not
Wow.
understand. Come to my office, my door is open for you. Why? Because when I was guard, I was serious. I was
Yeah.
always on time, and I respect the rules of that company. So the guy came to the office and see me Saturday, Sunday. I'm seated where I have to be, doing my job, but reading books and so on. He was impressed,
Mm,
and when we start discussing, he realizes that, oh, this guy is well educated. So it's
mm,
strange that he can be doing such a job, because he told me when he was young, he was part of a rich family. So
mm.
everything was given to him.
Give me exactly.
And I'm fighting to have a small something. And that impresses him. And he said, okay, it's a way for me to pay back by helping you.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome.
It was, I was
Awesome.
very lucky, I was lucky. And I was
So,
happy
should
because,
we say you were lucky, or should we say you were consistent at doing what you were supposed to do?
let me say both. Let me say both.
Mm,
Because I would have been elsewhere, being
yeah.
consistent, doing my job the way it have to be done, without having the opportunity to meet such a guy who will open up to me and give me such opportunity.
Yeah. True. True. Last question
So
I want to ask around that story.
yeah,
Moving from $7 or seven euro
100, yeah,
to 3,000
yeah,
3,000, were you able to manage that money when it was coming in? See, there is something about money. When it comes
yeah,
big, you want to just, spend it, it reviews your real character. How were you
yeah.
able to handle that?
I was having a goal. My goal was easy.
Mhm,
Uh, Help my family, build my own family, being able to pay for my rent, being able to have food, to do what a regular man is supposed to do in his life. So that 3,000 helped me to save some cash. Because what I didn't tell you is that after 6 months, the guy who was in that office came back, and I
Oh, I
have to.
wasn't expecting him to come back.
I was not. So the day he showed up, I was like, oh my god, I'm done. And he went through my file and say, wow, you did great. I'm
Mm,
impressed. and he was asking me how this happened to you, because we all we are used to see you downstairs.
Yeah, he knew you before. Yeah.
Yes, he knew me before, and I say, things happen. I was student, and he said, but unfortunately, there is no open position for you, and you will have to go. We had a lovely ceremony to say bye to me, and after that, I went back to my previous situation, and I say, I'm not going to be
Wow.
a guard anymore. I need to look for a job, the one I'm supposed to be doing. During 3 months, no answer to my request. I went to about 300, 300 companies. They received me.
300.
Yes. I still have the
Wow.
file. I still have my file in Paris. I kept, it's kept there. And they will receive you and say, yes, sir, you're good. You went to a lovely school, but I'm sorry, this is not the position for you. And that period, you will rarely see a black man at the executive level in those French companies.
Yeah.
Then one day I wake up and say, 3 months of research, my saving is almost finished. So you
Hey.
need to do something. Then I went to a company called LL Group, and I hide my education. Say I need a job. That's all. We spoke. The guy said, but you speak well. You seems to be well educated. I said, no, no, no. I don't want to talk about that. I need a job. Say, okay, okay, we'll give you a job. You'll start from scratch.
Okay.
And then the week after, he came back to me and said, I went through your file at the HR department, and you are such an educated guy. What are you doing here? I said, please don't speak loud. I need to keep this job. And after 2 months, the boss of that office came to me and said, I've been here working for more than 5 years. And the people who work below me, they hardly finish what I give to them to do per day.
Okay.
But I realized that within 2 hours, your job is done. I've been controlling and it's perfectly done. So
Mhm.
how do you manage? What's going on? Explain to me. And I explained to him. He said, wow. So you can take my seat, but it's not available. And I said, sir, please don't send me away. He said, no, no, no. What I will do is this. You will help all of them to learn how you do, then we'll be more successful.
Hmm.
So that's what I did. And we realized that we moved from, let me say, um, let me say, we used to do 100 files, we moved to 500.
Hmm.
And the guy say, because of you, I'm more recognized and my cash is increasing. So let me help you leave this my office and go to another one. Then I moved from scratch to, let me say, level one. It's the finance office.
Oh,
Then
wow.
after 1 year, I've been called again and say, sir, it's like what you are doing here is not what you're supposed to be doing. We'll help you to move up.
Hmm.
Then I became a manager for a team of 6 people,
Hmm.
and the job was still okay. Then they say, you will be the boss of these small departments, the client departments. And one day I went to a visit with my big boss. We were having one of our biggest clients in the company. We went there, and the boss of that company didn't want to talk to my boss. He wanted to talk to me, just me. Any question came to me.
Wow.
Anything he wanted to say or to it's about me. And he was happy about the way I was managing his company from far, because what we do is to finance companies. And
Okay.
he spoke to my boss and say, I don't really know why you follow him to come to my office, because your presence is useless. This guy, I can give him my
Wow.
company to run. So when we came back, we have a long discussion, the boss and me. And he said, okay, we realize that everybody is happy about you. All the
Mm.
clients, I will tell you the truth now. I used to contact your client to know how good you are doing, and the return is perfect. So we need to do something for you. Now you go to the main client department where you have all big clients. What I
Mm.
did, and then become the boss of that department. It was the beginning of everything for me. Being recognized,
Wow.
having the position I deserve to have, because my job is well done. I've been respectful. I don't put my mouth in things that doesn't concern myself. So always on time, and mainly helping the other people to do things the best way for them. I was not selfish.
Awesome.
And all those things were put in front of me the day they called me to become the boss of that department. And I
Wow.
say,
I'm
wow.
curious here. I'm curious.
Yeah. So
So
tell me.
all of this, all of this, I believe there are some mindset behind all of the things you have been able to do.
Of
They
course,
didn't
yes.
just happen because you were lucky or you had someone to help you. But two questions. If you had not gone to France or if you were not working in that kind of environment, because if you look at Africa, there's a way
Yeah.
we think. We think
Hmm.
differently. When someone is outperforming others, or maybe, for example, you are performing in the same capacity with your boss, they want to pull you down. They don't want you to get there. But the other, it's another story over there. If you are not in that environment, your achievement today, would this still have happened, and how? The second question is, what are the mindset that supports everything you've been able to do?
Let me start from the second question. The mindset was very simple. I need to be successful.
Oh,
I need to be successful. I have a good education from home. I went to one of the best schools in Paris, and I have my diploma. So my parents didn't spend so much money, that much money for me to be working as a simple employee. My
hmm,
goal when I was going to school was to become somebody, to be able to do things I learned, to be able to sustain my family, because I've started to develop my own family, to be able to have a good life. But what
hmm.
helps me to go there is the education that have been given to me home. Be honest, hard worker, respectful. And for that one, I will add what I learned to do myself is to be determined.
Okay.
So there is nothing that you give me to do, and I'll say, I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry. No way.
What if
I
it
can
was
tell you,
complex than what you can handle?
and I can go and call colleagues or call people from outside the company. Do you know how to do this?
Hmm.
We didn't have chat GPT at that time. So I can call and say, tell me how I can do this. So I look for
Yeah.
those who are more experienced than me and say, I have something tough in the office. Can you assist me? Teach me how I can manage. And then I'll come back
Hmm.
with the solution. And everybody will look at me
Wow.
and say, wow, he did it. And I learn every day. I don't block myself of learning from others. Because anyone who come to me and talk to me, I listen carefully. Because I need to learn and I need to show that. The main point for me is to show that as black people, we can do things better than anyone. And I knew
Yeah.
from the beginning that the challenge will be a daily challenge for me. There won't be a day where I can be minus and then move up. I have to be growing up every single day and show that, okay, I'm in capacity of, I'm willing to, I'm ready to learn, I'm ready to do, I'm ready to help. And my main interest is the goal of the company. Once you show that, there is no way that they can try to put you down, because I face it. Yes, there are people who doesn't like to see me moving that way, but there are people who help me, saying, no, but this guy is good, we need to help him. So it wasn't easy, but I was passion. I know where I wanted to be. It takes me some time, but the day I reached it, I was like, wow, so that's all. I made it. That's all. And one day, somebody came to me and say, "What do you think about going to Africa?" I say, "Me? I don't look African anymore. I've been here for more than 36 years. So what do you want me to go and do in that continent where nothing goes right? Everything goes
Yeah.
wrong. No, 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 I don't want to go." Then we went to an executive meeting in the US and
Okay.
with GE. And one of the vice president came to me and said, "Hey, Pamphile, I like you. First, you dress so well." And I said, "Oh, thank you, sir." Say, "No, no, no, seriously, I like the way you dress." And then 2 days after, he came back to me and said, "Oh, I went through your file and you've been outstanding everywhere. Somebody spoke to me about you going to Africa. You are not interested. Can you carefully think about it again? Because I hear that you are looking for a CEO position. But there is no CEO position available in Paris for in France for you. You have two
Mm.
options: coming to the US to stay, or going to Africa. Think about it. During our next meeting, we'll talk. And I went back home, spoke to my wife. She said, "There is no way I'll go to the US. I don't speak English. And I don't like those US foods." Sorry. And I say, "Okay." And then the GM came to me and said, "Pamphile, during 2 years, we've been trying on the board to take you up, and there is
Mm.
no chance for you to become CEO here in France at this moment. Maybe later on, but we don't have options for you. I believe you should think about going to Africa. And in Africa, you start from a sales manager position for a whole region
Mm.
before you move to CEO, and you will become CEO for a region." Then I say, "Okay, but where you want me to go to?" And they say, "We have two positions available. One is West Africa, the other one is Central
Okay.
Africa." I say, "I'm from West. I don't want to go to West. Let me go to Central Africa." They say, "You must be crazy. That region is tough. Is
Mm.
the one of the most corrupted in Africa, and doing business is not easy. We know you. You can stand it." And I say, "No, no. I don't want to go to my own country. Let me go where I don't know and try." I say, "Okay, it's up to you." That's how I find myself in Cameroon,
Cameroon.
taking care of Central Africa. That was a lovely experience, a wonderful experience. It was tough. It was crazy. And, I have to wear a cap where it's written, "We don't do it." I mean,
Oh.
don't expect a cash from me. Don't accept an envelope. GE will
Mm.
GE will teach you that for a gift, end of the year gift per company is $25 US. See, in
Mm.
Africa, especially in Cameroon, what can you offer a minister or a manager, general manager with 25 US dollars? They won't even look at you.
Wow.
So after 1 year, we used to have a weekly call, and I was the one to request for a bi-weekly call. My colleagues from South Africa, North Africa, West Africa, they'll talk about deals. I have 500 million deals. I have this amount of deals. We are working on it. And when they come to Central Africa, I'll say I pass. Then one day I say, no, we cannot be passing all the time. Let me first request for a monthly call. Then the CEO of G Africa say, okay, for Pamphile, we do a monthly call, but the other one will continue doing the bi-weekly call. But even for the monthly call, there was nothing to say. I've been trying, but no success. Then I say one day,
Wow.
I tried to
I
meet with
like
the
this
head of
part
state.
of the story.
Yeah, I need to see the head of state to introduce the company. I've been blocked from everywhere. There's no way for me to meet him. People came to me and say, if you give me this, I'll take you there. I say, no, no, no. I'm not going to try that. I don't want to be against rules. Then one day I wake up and say, okay, the head of state is going to Paris for in a business meeting. One of the ministers in Paris is a friend of mine. Now, one of my colleagues in charge of Europe for GE is the wife of one minister. With those two guys, let me try to see if they can organize a meeting for me in Paris. Then I send them a note and they say, of course, we will do that for you. Be sure you are in Paris during the period. We cannot give you that date or anything, but be there. Then I call my CEO and say, I need to meet the head of state and I'm going to see him in Paris. He said, if you need a vacation, take your vacation, but don't tell me that you are going to see somebody who lives in the same country with you. You need to go to Paris to see him. And I say, okay, don't worry. I'll go there and my ticket will only be reimbursed if I'm successful. Say, okay. And I went to Paris. The first call was, oh, sir, are you Mr. Pamphile Djoffon? Yes. Okay, you have a meeting with the president tomorrow. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. I would have.
Finally.
And half an hour later, I got another call. Sir, we are sorry. This meeting will not happen today. I was so desperate. I was so desperate. I called my people again and said the meeting had been cancelled. Oh, what will I do? I say, hold on. Then the following day, another call. Okay, sir, we managed to reschedule your meeting. We'll meet the president on Saturday. Saturday, 2 p.m. I say, wow, Saturday. Okay. And then I was happy again and say, should I switch my phone off? So in case they change their mind, they can reach me again. And I finally decided to keep it on. And I called my colleagues, who is CEO for a G in Europe. And she said, Saturday, I have a family meeting. We will be in our village. And there is no way. I said, no, no, just switch from there for 1 hour for me. The meeting I have is for 20 minutes. Just come and support me. She's white. It can help. And 10 minutes before the meeting, that lady showed up. I was, oh my God, how can you meet the president dressed like this? The skirt was so short. And she said, I told you I'm in a family meeting, in
Yeah.
a kind of vacation. That's all I can find to dress. See, but you can't sit down with it. You sit down, you are showing your body. You say, we will manage. We've been called, went to the meeting, and as soon as we sat down, the head of state said, start talking to the lady. And the
Oh,
lady
wow.
was smart enough to say, sir, I'm not the one in charge of your country. The gentleman is the one in charge of your country. I'm in charge of Europe. He's in charge of Central Africa. And she said, oh, really? Okay. And that was the beginning of everything for me. We had, instead of 20 minutes, the meeting took 53 minutes.
Awesome.
People were coming to knock the door and say, sir, your next meeting. He said, leave me alone. And the guy, when people talk about President Paul Biya, I look at them and I say, this gentleman is so smart. He knows everything. I went to him with 8 files, without writing anything down, without talking to the Minister of Economy who was sitting next to him. He took one by one in his own order and give me an answer to each of my questions. He didn't say, sir, what is the next point? Or whatever, not at all. And what I like is, at some point, I respond to him and say, sir, no, that is not good. That is stupid. You cannot do that. He said, sorry? And I say, oh my God, I made a mistake. He said, no, 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 that's good. I like the way you answer. Nobody has answered me like that in
Wow.
my country. And I say, wow, okay. And we end up, and he said, give me your name card again. And I give it to me because the first one was collected by his team. He put in his pocket and they say, I'll call you. I left, I was so happy. And he was talking to the Minister of Economy. If this guy working for such a company that we call General Electric is not successful in the country, it's going to be your fault. You take care of him. So the minister he rushed after me to give me his personal phone number, his business phone number, his assistant phone number, his private email, and say, if you don't reach me with all this, that means you don't want me to be in peace. And I went back to Cameroon, and life have changed. I don't send a letter to request for a meeting. I call, Your Excellency, can I see you? I say, when are you? Yes, of course, come to my office. I'm available. Everything
Awesome.
changed. And, I think, okay, I was smart enough to think about organizing that meeting abroad.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to finally have the people around to help me meet him, and
Yeah.
lucky enough to be taken care of. So I can start giving numbers to my company and growing.
Wow. Awesome. That was how do I express myself? That was a long and very captivating story. And in between, I can see some of the things you were able to do right. The fact that you were working with an organization that is global and you're able to take advantage of it. You also had relationships, because if not that you had a good relationship with the lady in Europe, you wouldn't
Yeah,
have gotten that opportunity. And you
true.
were also smart enough to and bold enough to say, I want to meet the head of state. Not
Yeah.
many of us can say, I want to meet. What will make me stand up and say, I want to meet the president of Nigeria? I mean, that has to come with a level of audacity that I can. I mean, I took that from it. And I also saw persistence, because I was expecting that the way your story was going from Paris, you were just going up. When you get to Cameroon, you would also experience the same thing, but you took a downturn. But
Yeah.
yet you were still able to control and manage it. Thank you so much for that. I could continue
Uh,
like this, but I know you have schedules and things to meet up with.
yeah.
But I want to dive into JCI. Where did JCI come into place in all of this story?
Oh, okay. When I've started to work within the LA group, I was having a different status. And I look back home with two or three of my friends. We were sitting and say, we are lucky enough to be in Paris, having better life, making some cash. And our friends from in Africa, in Benin, they are still suffering. They will talk to you
Yeah.
about computer, they will talk to you about books and whatever they don't have. So we have enough relationship now to collect computers, to collect
Okay.
books, and send those things back to them in Africa. But we cannot do it alone. We need to find the people who can help us do so. Need to find an association that we can use to send those things back to our country. So we went through and looked for several associations, and the way it's managed, the way they work, doesn't fit us. I
mm,
personally, I didn't like it, and say, okay, let's keep searching. At that time, I was having about 200 computers stuck in somebody's garage, waiting for
wow.
someone to come and send them to Africa. In a cabinet. And sorry. And then it's my next meeting knocking the door.
Wow.
So, and then I say, okay, we keep searching. And one day, a friend of mine came from Benin. He was the
Mm,
national president of JCI Benin. He went
mm,
to one of my other friends in Paris, and he was coming from a JCI meeting in France,
mm,
and they just had a national convention. He was holding a
mm,
video of JCI that he introduces to my friend, who calls me, who calls me and say, "Come home, I have something for us." And I say, "Are you sure? This is Sunday, and don't waste my time." Say, "No, no, no, come."
mm,
I went there. They put on the video, and I've seen first the creed. I've seen the processes,
mm,
our goals, the way they conduct meetings, and
mm.
several documents, and I say, wow, does this association exist in Benin? And I don't know about it. I've
Yeah.
been away for so long. And then I say, uh, let do something, because we hear
Mm,
there is a JCI in France, and there is one in Benin. Well, I don't live in Benin, I live in Africa. With
mhm,
my friend, we say, but we don't want to work within JCI France, because we will be serving France. Our goal, our main goal, is to help our people from Africa, from Benin first.
yeah.
So how do we organize? And we say, let's start by showing ourselves. We will go to any JCI meeting happening in France. We take our cards, we pay participation fees, whatever. And people start to see us and say, who are those guys? What do they look for? Go and join Paris. Go and join. Say no. After seeing everything and checking on the processes,
Mm,
we cannot set up a company, an association that
yeah.
will be in Paris and belongs to Benin.
Benin, yeah.
Because the three of us were from Benin. And I went to JCF and say, I want to set up a chapter, but I don't want my chapter to belong to you guys. I want my chapter to belong to my country. And they say it's
Okay.
impossible. I say, for you, it's impossible. Next Congress is in the US, and the head office is in the US. That was Miami. Let me go and see how this can happen. So we went to the US, met with the GLC, show what we wanted to do and why we want it to be done that way. And I say, okay, we give you a chance to do that. That's how we set up the Benin chapter in Paris. And
The audacity.
and we realized that after 1 year, that there are people coming from some other countries who stay in Paris who wanted to do the same thing. But
Mm,
JCI doesn't allow such chapter to be multiplied. So they wanted to join us, but each of them have his own goal. We want to do the same thing, but for our countries. We don't feel like being from Benin because I'm from Mali, I'm from Burkina, and I say, okay,
mm,
let's look at our documents and change our status, change the goals. Instead of
mm,
being Benin chapter in Paris, we will become African chapter in Paris. We allow any people coming from any country in Africa to be part of us.
yeah.
And then, if we have a director of commission, each commission will be in charge of the country or a region. So they
Mm,
can help their countries, help their region, and do well. That's what we managed to do and to do successfully. There was no JCI member who can come through Paris without stopping by our chapter.
Mhm.
And that was lovely. That was wonderful. And we managed to keep it until I leave Paris for Africa. And that was the beginning of the end. That's another story.
Uh, Thank you so much, sir. So I will just ask two more questions, and I'll allow you
Yeah.
have your next meeting. I hope that we could have this again because I've not even touched the questions I came up with. I'm just so engrossed in
We will
our
have it again, I
conversation.
promise. I promise you we'll have it again.
Thank you so much for that. So, two
Okay.
questions. Number one, what is the best advice you have
Yeah.
received?
Um, Never give up.
Just that?
Yes. Keep fighting. It will always happen. We don't know when, but never give up.
Mm.
I never give up on things. You know, I have, let me say, three main word that I use. First is be honest,
Okay.
loyal, hard worker, and determined.
Mm.
You know, with those three things, you can face anyone, anything. If you want to do it, you'll find a way to get it.
Awesome. Awesome. So, for
Loyalty
some
for
of
me
us,
is key. If you're not
mm,
loyal to yourself, to the people surrounding you, one day you have to pay for it. Loyalty
true.
for me is one of the key words that everyone should have in mind. Be loyal to yourself and to the people.
Thank you
Yes,
so
please
much
go
for that. So,
ahead.
for some of us, when we look at people like you, we want to be close, you know, especially for some people that will be watching this video that are doing something substantial in their own city or so. What do you look for in people before you draw them closer? I believe you can't be part of everybody's life. You
No.
probably will be selective because of your time and your schedules. What do you look for in people that feels okay, this person, I want to draw this person closer?
The honesty, loyalty. I
How
I
do you
come back
see
to
that?
loyalty. The way the person behaves, the way we interact, what the guy have been doing, and what he is looking for. Somebody who is willing to learn, who is willing to serve. You know, after 2 hours of chat, I can tell you whether you want to do it, you're loyal or not. I have questions to ask you. If you're not loyal, I cannot assist you. I receive, I don't know, so many people. There are so many people from within JCI who want to sit with me, who want to meet with me, who were talking to me about their wishes and so on. And I always ask them, how strongly do you want it? What do you put on the ground that to make sure you can have it? What are the sacrifices you are ready to do
Mm,
to make sure you'll be successful? Because I'm not just there to give you ideas or to give you something for you to go and fail.
mhm.
If I accept to be your mentor or to assist you, that means I'm also part of this. If you fail, that's my failing. So if you don't have the strength, if you are not willing to do, really, if you are not determined and loyalty is not part of your life, don't waste my time.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. I would
You're
let you go
welcome.
now,
Thank
but
you, Timmy.
I want you to say something to the team. We
Yeah.
started this year, and we felt it to be nice to document stories. I mean, the
Okay.
story you've told me today, and some of us that joined. I mean, it's so profound. We cannot forget how you rose from the bottom to the top, back to the bottom again, then to the top, then to another country, and it felt like it was just failing. Say something to the team.
Okay. First is thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you and to address. I don't know how big the audience is, But even if it's two people, I say there's a friend of mine have been president of JCI, who say the impact of one. If you can manage to impact one person, then we can say you've been successful, because each of us can impact one person. That's how we grow.
True.
That's how we become big. Just
True.
make sure you are. I'm coming back to my words. You are determined. You are loyal, and you're focused.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
So I want to thank you, and to tell you that you are doing something wonderful, giving chance to other people to learn from some of us. And I hope we will have the opportunity to learn from those guys one day. We may face them in our lives. Thank you for doing it so professionally, and I hope you will keep it. Manage to find the right people to talk to your audience, and keep it professional, and keep it focused, and you will always be successful.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time, sir. Have a
You're
blessed day.
welcome. I'll be around anytime.
All right.
Take
All
care.
right. Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Okay.